Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Tionya. This is Tionya Unique, where we make the dreams of living a soft life our reality through DIYs, through self-care, self-motivation, and whatever the heck else you can think of by any means necessary. In this video, I'm going to talk about my curly to straight prep and maintenance. So I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I did to prepare for this silk press, as well as let you know how I maintained this silk press. It's been about 2.5 weeks now. So if you're natural and you're thinking about pressing out your hair at any point, keep watching. I got you. All right, so one of the first things I thought about in prepping my hair for this silk press was to make sure that my hair was, one, conditioned really well, and then two, treated with some sort of protein treatment. Now, I had my own protein treatment on standby. Some protein treatments that I would recommend is the AFOG. You can either do the 2-step protein treatment, or if you want like a lighter protein treatment, there's like a leave-in protein treatment if you are pressing your hair out at home. But AFOG brand has really great protein treatment items that you could use. And so I would definitely make sure I incorporate that. For myself personally, I called the shop before I went just to make sure that they had, like, to see what kind of treatments they had. I wanted to make sure that, of course, I can get a deep condition. I knew that, but I wanted to make sure that I can get a protein treatment as well. And they did offer that. Most salons do. It's going to be really important with like securing your hair, making sure that your hair is like at its strongest state before you put all of that heat on your hair. If you're home doing it yourself, you're going to need a deep conditioner, and I would use heat. So put a deep conditioner in your hair, put a bag or a plastic cap or something over top, and then I use a blow dryer cap over top of my head. It's in one of my other videos, but that's how I deep condition my hair. I think it's in my wash day video, or can't remember. I will link that video down in the description. Now, the next thing that I did before going to the salon, when I went to the salon, this is my second time going to this particular salon. I went back because I really did like the way she pressed my hair out. She's a natural herself. And she just seemed to be tender with my hair, and I like the way that she did my hair. However, the one thing that I didn't like was the washer girl. I had to constantly ask her like not to pull my hair so hard. I don't know if I'm tender-headed. It's very much possible, but I'm very gentle with my hair. I don't pull my hair. I don't nag my hair. I take my time with my hair. And that's one of the things that a lot of salons don't really do. I've gone to another really popular, famous salon before. And the washer girl, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm calling them the right name, and I apologize if I'm not. But the girl that washed my hair, when she went to go blow dry it again, it's just like, she has the blow dryer, she has the brush, and she's okay, my hair, you don't see it now, but if you see my natural hair videos, you cannot. I know it looks curly and probably looks really soft, and it is fairly soft, but I maintain my hair and my length by taking my time. I hold each piece, and I start at the bottom. I work my hair up. I detangle first, and then I go in with the blow dryer, but they don't do that. They take the big wide tube comb, they comb it through a few times, and then they take that dryer and psh, with the brush, like, and then I'm like this in the hair salon, and I just hate it. So I haven't had any other experiences. I've been to the hair salon 3 times since I've been natural. I've been natural about 7 years. And I've been to the hair salon 3 times, and all 3 times the washer person, the dryer girl, washer dryer girl, I had that experience. So this time I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, detangle my hair before I go. And I was kind of able to do that, but I didn't do it as much as I wanted to because my hair was dry, and I was kind of in a rush, and I don't like to rush with my hair. So I did a really light finger, like, detangle, like with the big parts, big tangles. I got those big tangles out. But once she went in and washed, you know, she doesn't do like how I twist my hair. Check out my wash day video routine because I'm very strategic with keeping my hair detangled as well. She doesn't do that. They don't do that. They put you in the sink, they pour water, and your hair's getting all tangled, and boom, you have a tangled mess. And then they go through with the blow dryer, and then they wonder why they're cutting so much off when it's time for a trim. So yeah, I tried to detangle before I went, and I don't know how, you know, helpful that was. It just made me feel like I was doing as much as I could before I went to the salon. So yeah, will I be going back to the salon for my next trim? Absolutely not. That was 2 times and I'm done. I'm gonna just try to continue to just give myself trims more often than I've been previously so that I don't have to feel like I need a professional, and call it a day. And then so the next thing that I did was, once she trimmed my hair, you know, she did blow dry. She did press it out nicely. The girl who did my hair, she pressed it out. She's natural, so she did not go over my hair more than like twice. So she straightened it once, and then she went over it a second time just to get the bump. She asked me if I wanted like a bump. So like I would say 2 or 3 passes all together throughout certain parts of my hair. And that was fine. She trimmed my hair. Now, you don't see my last year's trim. I'll probably insert a picture of my trim a year ago. Yeah, it's the same length. Yeah, my hair's the same length. And what's crazy is when she pressed it out, it was longer, obviously, but she cut a lot off this time. And at first I was really upset because I was like, why didn't my hair grow? Or why did you cut so much off? But I do remember the last time she cut my hair, she said that she could have taken off more. And she probably needed to take off more, but she didn't want me to lose all of my length. So she was kind of leaving a little bit extra on there just so I could have that length. And I think that now this time me going, she took it off. So now I'm back. But my ends are much more clean and even and full. Much more full than they were. So, or than they were last time. So after she trimmed my hair, I you know, had my day of like doing this. Boop, boop. I was in the wind, you know, the winter air. Just, you know, my hair was so silky. I'll add a clip in of that. So some of the things that I did at home to make sure that my silk press lasted was, number 1, stay away from water. I stayed away from steam. I stayed away from heat. I stayed away from, like, I didn't even want to sweat. If I was sweating, I was like, oh, like really trying, like, because really, you know, like a drop of water would blow up. So I stayed away from, tried to avoid sweating. I haven't been in the gym, but I'm about to get back in the gym because I'm about to curl this back up. But I haven't been in the gym. And I know that, you know, people go and they wrap their hair. No, that's not going to work for me. I'm just going to stay away from sweat and water. So I was washing dishes one day, and I know you guys like, oh, of course stay away from water, but like every possible type of water. I was washing dishes and I had the water on really high heat, and I'm leaning over the sink like this, and I'm like, oh shoot, the steam is moving upwards. And even though, like, even in some areas where you can't see the steam coming into your face, like you think you can step away, no, that humidity in the air is going to get in your hair. So avoid humidity at all costs. Okay, so steam if you're doing dishes, heat if you're baking in the oven, and of course the steam in the shower. I wash when I take my showers. I put my wrap on. I'm gonna show you guys how I do that in a second, but I wrap my hair, and then I put 3 shower caps on my head just to make sure I'm super duper duper protected. And then when my 3rd cap that I put it on all the way, like I put it on, but I pull it down to make sure that it's covering this part of my hair. Just because, I don't know, I feel like this hair, it always gets wet or curly first because it's like so low on my neck. So I just make sure I pull it down a little extra far to keep it nice and dry. But my hair is always covered if I'm around any type of water or any type of humidity. All right, the next thing that I do, if I'm home and I'm not on FaceTime with a boo, or or if I'm, you know, I'm not outside, my hair's wrapped. So, all right. So that's how I wrap my hair. I mean, this is just for people that, you know, maybe new to just taking care of their own hair. That's what my, you know, my channel is for, to help people at every level. So, I'm comb my hair. Make sure there's no tangles. I always start at the end and work my way up. And I just do a good. I don't have my comb. I left my comb at work and we're off for the holidays. So I have to use this. Sometimes you gotta get creative. So then I just wrap. And I'm constantly like just keep using my hand to wrap it around. Sometimes I gotta get this nice and flat up there to, you see that? Get it nice and flat. And then wrap the rest around like that. Just like so. And then right here, this is where my hair, you know, breaks off with the length. My length is done right here. So I take this part and I hold it. And I pull it down, and this is where I'm holding because this is where my hair breaks off my length. So I'm not really worried about this little piece. So then I take my scarf. I already have it like folded in my triangle form. And I lay it. And look how I'm laying it. I'm laying it to where the front of the scarf is on the side of my face. But I'm doing that because once I pull the back of the scarf, which is on the, like the side, like diagonal, once I pull, I can give it a little bit of a twist like that, just to lay it nice and flat. And then I pull each string, each corner, whatever you want to call it, and boom. This was the bottom. Like so. So I like to have it over my ears because it always rises at night anyway. So while I sleep, it's gonna rise. And that's how I keep it on. I twist this, tuck, and then I tuck the little butterflies away as well. And that's how I walk around the house all day. Unless, oh, where's my earring? Unless I'm going somewhere, I need to go get my earring. But this is how I walk around the house. This is how I sleep. I keep it like this until it's time for me to go to work the next day, or time for me to go on my date, or time for me to go out to dinner, or whatever. This is how I look in the house when I have a silk press. Because I paid, how much did I pay? I paid $110 for that silk press. And we don't have time to waste that. So they only last 2 to 3 weeks, maybe longer if you really push it. But in general, just a couple weeks. So I need every penny's worth. The last thing that I do to preserve my silk press is to keep my hands out of it, as well as keep oils out of it. If you like to keep your silk press flowy like I do, with a lot of movement and bounce, then I would say don't put any products in it for at least a week. For me, I go about 2 weeks, and maybe I push it to 3. I'll go like 2.5. Like right now, I need to oil my scalp, and it's been about 2.5 weeks. So if you go 3 weeks, you're pushing it, but it's possible, depending on, you know, the person. Some people have naturally oily hair. They produce a lot of sebum on their scalp, so you don't really need oil as much, or maybe you can hold out a little bit longer. But for me, I don't produce a lot of oil. I do produce some, but not a whole lot. Like, I feel like my hair is a little greasy just from my natural sebum, but it's not like I clearly still have movement. So yeah, I don't oil it for a week or so, just over a week, and then I'll go ahead and oil my scalp. But I don't put any other products in it. But it's okay if you don't oil your hair for a week if you took the necessary treatments beforehand, making sure that you got a deep condition for that moisture that's going to be retained through that silk press, as well as making sure that you got that protein treatment to seal everything in and to hold your strands really tight and secure and keep them strong. All right, so what I was going to tell you at the end of the video is that once I decide to give up with the silk press, which will be in the next few days, I'm going to be using my Ayurvedic herb amla, clove, and rosemary oil that's been cooking in the closet. And it's this coming weekend will be 3 weeks. So if you watch that video, it's time. If you didn't watch that video, go check that out. That is the amla, rosemary, and clove oil video. I put that in the closet for 3 weeks and it's been just marinating. I've been going back every few days, kind of like giving it a nice shake, mix up. But it's going to be so good for my hair. I'm going to be using that for the next 6 months as I go through a growth stage, a growth process. I'm really focusing on protecting my strands and making sure I nourish my strands and protect them with oil. I'm going to be using that amla oil. All the benefits is in that video. And I'm really excited about that because I just know I'm going to see some growth. I'm going to do a before and after video of that. I'm going to check my length when I first started. And then I'm going to check my length maybe every 2 months, all the way up until 6 months to see the final results. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to tune into that so that you're notified every time I post a video like this. Bye.